Okay. The update's running. It's got some lag. Okay. Morning, Mr. Lion. Hope you're well. Yep, Twitch looks okay. Why is that not? There you go. Can't use a stream preview to determine what I'm seeing. That would be bad. Okay. A slow start to the morning. We're doing well overall. It's been a great weekend. Yeah, well, not a bad weekend. I feel off because I didn't stream on Friday, and yeah. Yeah, learned lessons. But yeah, the weekend went by too quickly, I think. I feel like I barely achieved anything. But wasn't too bad. I found some bugs in Liquid Sky yesterday. So Rambling Geek helped me identify a few problems. So we've fixed up that, made sure the user registration works properly. Creates you as an admin user properly now, so that's good. The registration was kind of busted. So Rambling Geek helped me identify that, and we got that working. So some progress all around. Okay. But we start the week with developers.stream, and oh yes, that's what we're up to. So let's bring up developers.stream. So what we're talking about on Friday, right, was essentially this. The flow of clicking the button and doing this, right? But this goes a bit different, right? Profile, logged in profile, right? We go from here, and we need to link Twitch account. Link account. We'll go link account for right now. And this piece here needs to, or it's not even link account, is it? It's actually link, as I've termed it there in the code. It's kind of link channel. Because we're not associating the accounts. That's a distinction to make, right? We aren't trying to link the are we trying to, what we care about is validating that you actually are a streamer on that platform. So by clicking the link, you'll be prompted to log in. If you log in and it's successful, it'll return the right code flow, and we'll be able to validate that token and pull from that the preferred username in the Twitch piece, right? So first we need to register the platform, right? So we need to say, okay, we're registering Twitch, and here's our user ID, and here's a state string that it's calculated so that we can validate on the other side, right? This is going to be necessary. Actually, let's start with that. Program CS. That's fine. Actually, we need to don't populate sample streams and platforms. If okay, let's do that. This is new. This is new. This is new. Okay. Okay, so I need to. This is all part of the same thing, so I'm not going to change this. In the domain, yeah, this isn't a component of auth. So our platforms here, right, don't necessarily need to match the value stored there. That's interesting though. There's platform and platform. So I might need to make some changes to this so that we can pull. So we can associate them two things. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm renaming this one. It's enumeration. Public. Something's not working right today. Everything feels a little bit sluggish. Public. Static. Implicit. Operator. Yeah, there you go. Except that's not that. We need to do that would allow us to create a new one from an empty string bar. Let's use AI for this. Dot where f dot field type equals type of identifier dot We'll make that static. Platform. Baby, how you doing? How was your weekend? You enjoy Callisto Protocol, right? Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't bad. I got a bit of gaming in. Got a little bit of foundation. I like my city builders and stuff, and I got some programming progress made, which was good. I was lurking in your stream most of the other day, so I saw you were playing Callisto Protocol. I just didn't get to chat again. I played a bit of Avowed, and that's pretty good. And then I played a little bit of Foundation, because I love me a good city builder. It was a viewer redeem. I didn't enjoy it, to be honest, but I'm not big on story games. Gotcha. Makes sense. Okay, so there we go. There we go. Okay. F.identifier equals. That's the better version of that. And how can that be null? It's fine. It can't be null if it gets to that point. I think these days I don't try and play too many big story games. Like Avowed is, lore heavy, and I don't have the time or retention, if I'm not being honest, these days, to get involved in a story. The more complicated it is, the more unlikely I am to do it. Private, static, read-only, platform, identifiers. Does that work? Nullability of reference types. Ugh. I just get bored. I prefer movies. Into platforms. Okay, there we go. So the idea of this is to just give me the ability to Return platform if actually argument null exception platform dot throw if null. If you give it an invalid identifier, it should fail. Yeah. Like I want to play some of the larger games in my collection. I just don't have the time or energy right now. I'd love to, you know, if I could get, you know, a good amount of time off work or find some really good job that had a lot of vacation time, then, you know, just be able to take like a month to play video games and stream them. I'd probably do more there. But we can dream, right? We can dream. Okay, so what I want to do, actually, if we make that public, dot select. Hold on, why is that still? Where F is not null. Well, if I do where there, that is no. That reads better. That reads much better. We make that that's in shared kernel. If we go into here, can we make that a platform identifier? The main can reference shared kernel, right? Not sure if that's a bad choice. So what I'm trying to do here, right, is create what is this? What is going wrong with this? Well, it's like so what I'm trying to do is I am trying to, so we have the database. I'm trying to basically create a record in this database, the request or the channel intent, right? I intend to link this channel, a channel to this thing. And then when we get the request back from Twitch, we line up the state variable with that. Say this is what we asked for. No, automatically to writer. This is the thing we asked for, so that when we get this response back, this authentication value back, this Twitch authentication response, it will contain our JWT, which we can then extract, match up the state from the response, and then validate that request and store that linked channel. And we'll use the name. So right now, I think we can just use the name. We don't have to worry about any fancy EF gymnastics. Mojo, good morning. How are you doing? How did your game development go? Okay, we need to rename that platform identifier. That should be that. Let's go and add either I've broken this mouse or I am having trouble to make it past plan. I need to rest the remainder of the flu stuff off. Oh, sorry to hear that. Show all files. Okay. So what I'm thinking is we need generally don't have issues with Logitech stuff. That's you that has issues with it. This isn't double clicking. This is me either not pressing the button right or I'm pressing it when I don't want to press it. New item. Your class. Oh, I need a template for a class. Ugh. Really? That's a Visual Studio problem. Like, I can do that is a Visual Studio problem. I just drag the name out, but then when I click out there, the modal's there. Channel. So is this an intent? It's not an intent while it's only an intent while it's being filled, but streamer channel. Let's go with streamer channel for now. Let's go back there and remove that. That's interesting. It lets me drag and drop. Why would it be internal Visual Studio? Wow, Visual Studio still creates. That didn't even dawn on me. Okay. Note to self, don't use Visual Studio's add class because it's broken. It's an old school thing. So we need an ID. Public int. Right. So that's this person. I already have channel. Never mind, we've already got channel. Should that be... Hold on, I've already got platform and channel. Streamer has channels and... Okay, so we got that right. So I suppose... What I'm wondering is if I try and let's do some due diligence here. If I YouTube authorize auth code what flow. Web apps flow supports web applications that can securely store persistent information. What I'm wondering is if the flow works the same way, right? So do we get the state? I love how it says, okay, here's the .NET client right at the top, right? But the .NET, there is no .NET samples in here. State. Any string value application needs to maintain state between authorization request and the authorization service response. Okay, so it's a part of the standard. That's all I wanted to know. Yes, okay. So what I'll do is have state stored in here, right? Public or is verified. And we're not going to imply, because you could then use state to do other things. So do we set verified to true when we get the request and clear state? Let's go with that for now. It's not letting you link, maybe. What is a food website? It shows asterisk because I got a bot spammed by several thousand. Belly.io. Yes, it wasn't originally. Belly.io was originally a site for Twitch streams. That's what it was originally used for. It's evolved over time. So, but back 5 years ago when I built that one, Belly.io was a listing site. Yeah. I don't want to mess around with that version. It's not worth spending the time doing it, but yeah. Yeah. Funny that it's changed. I'm not sure Belly.io was probably the most logical name in the first place, but yeah. But it was originally a Twitch listing site. I'm replacing developers.stream because that's the one I own. But what I was saying in that, when I started this, Belly.io was doing something similar in concept. And yeah. But I managed to snag developers.stream. And it's time to use it. Okay. So we have a channel. So we need to update a migration. Migrations. Add Uh, so a rider is better. Entity framework call, add migration, include additional, include additional platform fields. Okay. There we go. So we should have. Ah, did that really do it? No, I didn't do anything. Okay. Let's delete that. Let's try that again. Your mic volume has dropped significantly, by the way. I am tired of messing around with. Thank you very much, Mr. Woody. Thank you for the oh yeah, it did. It dropped a lot, didn't it? I have no idea why. Let's raise that. That should improve things. Decided to refactor a big part of my app, and I'm currently hating life. Refactors can be intimidating. Happens every stream. It does, and I don't know why. I think it's time to rip out all the audio gear and start again. And just accept that I need different microphones, headphones for work, and happened the moment you started talking about Billy. Maybe it's a trigger word. No, I noticed it was. I've raised raised the decibels, but now the problem with that is that tomorrow, it will. If I don't check it beforehand, it will be loud and booming to begin with. So I have to make sure I check. Add migration. Application DB context. No, I didn't move the mic. I have now. I moved it closer to me. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I just laughed or joked. Yeah, maybe I just said something too loud in reaction. I don't know. We will see. Additional platform fields. Do this again. Scream presence. You do not want me screaming. This is me talking quietly. The namespace, auth migrations. Add. Add migration. Add additional platform fields. Application DB context. That's nice that it warns me. If a little annoying. Why can't you remember where your folder is? Are you serious? Dev projects. Where's this thing? Developers.stream source migrations. Folder. Okay. Now do we work? There we go. That's healthier. Okay, so we should have. Apparently not. Apparently not. Okay, ads are going to start. Developers.stream.domain. Infrastructure, context, application DB context, channels. It's in there. So how do you not detect the difference? Let's have a look. Let's build it. Good morning from Arizona, USA. What projects are you working on today? Hey, Frozen. Good morning in Arizona. Good morning from New Jersey. I am working on a platform to help support developers who stream. Starting with being able to link accounts to the site so you can be to help with discoverability primarily. Thank you, online. Basically, the idea will be you go to this site if you're a Twitch streamer or a YouTube streamer or a Kick streamer or whatever platform you're on, and if you want to register your channels, you can do so and register some keywords that will help find you and help with just general discoverability across multiple platforms. This is going to be an open source project. So once we've got past the initial phase of getting these workflows in, I will open it up for PRs. Yeah, we will see how it goes. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it. Now, why is that not creating the migration that I want? So entity framework core, add migration, add platform fields. What is great there is that it hasn't discovered it again. See, it's not adding fields. That is really not funny. Why is that not changing anything? Channel. I've added 2 fields. Okay, let's proceed. Let's go back to Visual Studio so that I don't make a mess. So all that tool is doing is running the command line for me. So I don't need to worry too much. What I'll do is I'll get this working and hooked up and then see when it builds if it does that thing. Okay. So let's get this hooked in. So the idea would be that when we create this, we need to create this record for a platform, and I'm not sure URL is going to matter. I think URL can be inferred off the platform. So let's say that is name We don't need that. We can just use the name. The name field will do it for us. So in our register channel intent, what we need to do is find our I'm thinking about chicken and egg here. So I don't have this set up. So I don't have a streamer ID to look up. So I don't have public string identifier or something like that to know that this user that I'm logged in as is this streamer record, right? So we need to get access to, and that's what I was doing on the other day, isn't it? We need access to the user information. This is where I was the other day, right? So what I want to get is this piece. Let's see if it builds. Now I remember. Just got to figure out what I've got to do is I've got to figure out a good way of noting or annotating what it is I'm working on and what pieces I need to pick up next. And again, the reason I want to do this now the way I'm doing it is so that I don't, there's a structure in place once this becomes actually open to accepting PRs. Right now, there's so many moving parts that if someone was to try and do PRs, their opinions are going to creep in and I'm going to get like, okay, well, I've got to figure out, do I understand what they're doing? Yeah. The model for context has pending changes. That's fascinating. It knows there's changes pending, but it won't build the it won't build the changes. That's absolutely fascinating. Okay. Let's go back here. Let's see if we can add this migration. Entity framework or add migration. Again, what this is doing is add modify channel. If I have to wipe it out and start again, I'll have to wipe it out and start again. That's fine. But this is why I don't like messing around with migrations too early. It's not picking up. Oh, it did do that time. Drop column URL in the channels and what? That's completely not what I did, but okay. What about the new columns? What about state and verified? Oh, well, let's go with that. I'll worry about them when I need to capture them. My hope is that once I start referencing them, it'll do something because I am referencing URL, right? So maybe it's smart enough to understand, or I was referencing URL. So this might actually error again. Okay, it ran that then. Let's go over here. Go to profile. Okay. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. That's why. Okay. So if we go back to profile, the problem here was one of, can I do debugger.break here? Will it let me do it? No? Oh, that'd be awesome if I could break that. Suppose it makes sense. Context dot user dot identity dot name. hot reload doesn't work, does it? Oh, it does work. There we go. For each claim in claim. Okay. I'm looking for that. Name identifier. Okay. So name and email are the same, but that's what I want. So that identifier is what will give me a consistent identifier to use, right? That's what I need. I need that identifier to match with whatever's in that table. So in here, public GUID identifier. Now, the right order of doing things here. I think we need to establish the profile before we go too far with the Twitch thing. Because once the profile's established, we can do this. So let's go and do that piece. Let's go back here. So we want name identifier. Right. So that would be, just for reference, that would be, we do this. Dot claims dot first dot default c dot c goes to c dot type equals claim type dot name identifier. That should work. Dot value. There you go. So we've got our claim. That's all we care about. Let's do that. So let's figure this out. When we log in, account pages, we confirm the email, right? That would be a good time to do this. Or when we go into this page for the first time, do we create this? I think it's probably the latter than the former, because we are intentionally setting up the user account at that point, right? But what we need to do is force them to. Have I lost? Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. As much as I want to use Visual Studio, I'm finding that Visual Studio is holding me back. I will continue to. I'll leave Visual Studio open, and we can definitely build it in there. But I'm going to switch to Rider so that my workflow feels less stunted. I feel happier in here, but I will continue to use Visual Studio so that I am able to prove that you don't need a paid for product to use this platform, right? That's an important part. Okay. Problem with this is, okay. Da, 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 da. Define platform identifier object. What's this called? There's a name for this pattern of like extended enum sort of thing. I can't remember the name. Platform identifier. Okay, let's do another migration. Add migration. Actually, it might not do anything at this point. We need to get the rest of the pieces in. So what I'm thinking is, on the profile page, we set up an ability to set the name on your blurb, and we put a save button there, and when you click save, the other buttons show, right? So that we can generate those buttons at the right time. And we have the information available to us, right? So we know your user. So in here, let's go into account, profile, pages, profile. Let's do H3, profile. Form. Input. Now we're not using anything. We're using Bootstrap, aren't we? Class equals. Let's leave it as that for a second. Import. Show example form in Blazor. Okay, let's take this. Okay, so we have a model. Input model is defined down there. Okay. Edit form. Okay. That's interesting. Login, edit form. Okay. Model input. Private class, private seal class input. Apply parameter from form. Indicates the value of the associate property should be supplied from the form data for the form with a specified name. Wow. I suppose I'm used to Angular, so yeah. So private sealed input model. That's not an email. That's just a name. So this name, we're going to give a hint to say this is not your real name. This is a channel, the name you go by. So like on Twitch, my channel is TBD Develops, right? On on YouTube, my channel is TBD Develops. On Twitch is TBD Gamer, but I'm TBD Gamer, right? So my channel would show, you'd search for me by TBD Gamer, not for, just try and cut down that confusion. So we'll make it clear that that is, yeah, public string blurb. Okay, so we got that. And then what was that? It was supply parameter from form. From form. Public. No, it can't be public. It can't be public. It has to be private. It has to be private because the model, the seal model is private. Private import model. Input. That's that. Equals new. That should work. Yeah. Yep. And then we need a edit form model equals input. Oh, it knows what I'm trying to do. So on valid submit there is login user, and that's login user there. So we'll do the piece here. So we'll create all the profile updates. For anyone new to the stream, Blazor is not my normal not my normal front end code, so I'm trying to adapt. Private. Now, do you make that async? Yeah, you do. Okay, sweet. Async task, update profile. Task.complete task. That's how they do that. And then this is name. I know that that's not going to work because it's an email control. Autocomplete. How do you how do you disable autocomplete? Is it disabled in there? Off. Class form control, class name, placeholder. Oh wow, they just named everything input.name. Okay. Name. That's probably, we probably need a hint text or something that's a little bit more clear there, but for right now, we'll come back along on that afterwards, right? I'm not going to worry too much about that piece as it is be determined. Okay, floating input text. Div class equals form floating MB3 input text area bind value equals input dot. Really? Input dot blurb. I don't know if that's going to be valid. Let's find out. Label for input dot blurb. I think that's going to want to be inside of there, but we'll find out in a second. There's no validation for this. It's empty. It's completely optional. If you don't want to describe yourself, that's fine. Let's run this and see if it gets me anything, like a broken form. If you are new to the stream, you have questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I'm happy to talk about this stuff. I'm trying to learn. The child content element, child content of component edit form uses the same parameter name context as in closing. Edit context equals. How do I do this? I've done this before. You define the different context, right? Edit form model. Let's try that again. The child content of component edit form. Hey Dflux, how you doing? Specify the parameter name. You know what would be useful there? It actually showed me the entire message. Our content. Yeah. Another name that doesn't work. Or do I have to provide that context? Do I have to create that context somewhere? Start a new job in 2 hours. Congratulations. Hopefully you found something you enjoy. Edit form. Use the same parameter name. I think. Blah, 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 blah. Edit context. Edit context. Oh, we do have to set it up. Okay, that's fine then. Okay. That's fine. Edit context. Is that just never set, or does it? Oh, that does it. Okay, there you go. And it uses the model. Okay. Context equals some new context name. Wait, I don't think that's what the error is indicating. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see what happens there now. Oh, that's why. Hold on. The child content of component edit form uses the same parameter name as in closing child. I think it's saying that you know that since you're inside an authorized view component, which has a default context, the edit form's default context is conflicting. So you just need to rename the context variable for one of the two components. Right. That's what I thought this was meant to solve. This person solves it by specifying a completely different context for the outer because there's no ability to set the inner actual context other than the edit context. So you're not allowed to override the context of this. You can just override the edit context. So on this one, I need to set the context. On the authorized view, yeah. Where do we get auth context from? Where do you pull that from, though? That's not a thing. Oh, that's just a name. That's naming it. Just an idea. Why not put it in a separate component and declare the authorized attribute? Because I'm not focused on the that piece. I'm not thinking about it as from components right this second. Trying to build something. Gotcha. Yeah. I kind of figured that out once it gives me that. Like, oh, it's just giving me a name to reference it by, so I can handle it. And now it differs, but this one doesn't have the context. So let's see if it runs. So what you're saying there, default, is put the form inside of its own component, and then have that just have the authorized attribute on it anyway, without the authorized view. Right. So yeah, once we got this up and running, yeah, I'm fine to reorganize that stuff. But again, trying to get my head around how to do. Yeah, I put the authorized attribute up there originally, and then did the authorized view. So they probably don't need that. Yeah. Why does that log me out? Um, Uh-oh. Well, can only be one of them, right? It ain't that one. What? Your browser is not currently supported. Uh, I've fallen 2 versions behind on Twitch. On okay, I'll stop this running. So it will not run running off. Client, the browser instance provided separate from a regular one. Yes. It's interesting the behavior difference here between Visual Studio and Rider. So I'm using Rider right this second because I'm more comfortable with Rider. So I don't have to struggle through the Visual Studio pieces. No. What the heck is this doing? This is driving me crazy. Twitch complains that the browser version is incorrect. We're using Rider more and more. All around, I just find Rider to be just a more pleasant experience. After using Visual Studio to do some of this, I definitely find Rider more engaging application development wise. Arrows generated for warning pending model changes. Okay, that's fascinating. Just a difference in behavior between the two. I would bet my error settings on Rider are really lax. I think that was probably erroring in the background. Whereas Visual Studio is like, nope, throw exception. I need to find out where are you? Tool, not here. Debug. Oh, it's been a while. Options. I need to find out where all these alternatives are in Rider and make sure that they're similar. So that is causing me a problem because, and we'll do the migration again. We added the migration for migration. What was it? Streamer to have identifier. Migration include streamer identifier. Nope, that did not work. That didn't do anything. Oh no, it did. It worked. Empty GUID. Don't think that's actually what I want, but we'll find out. Okay, so the container starting up, running the migrations. Okay, all started. So we can do this now. Go here, log in, Twitch, profile. Cannot provide a value for property input because the property has no setter. That's funny. This is where the tooling is tripping me up. Can I invite for property for input page profile because the property has no setter? No, it's not that. Web components, pages, profile, input. Like that. Why is it logging me out every time? That's weird. Edit form requires a model parameter or an edit context parameter, but not both. Oh, joy. That's funny. Well, we solved the one, right? We solved the problem. Let's go with this because we know there's an example in here for me, and I am not winning at this piece. Rebuild and apply. All right. So we will attempt that. So this is because I defaulted to null. It didn't have the value. So that's what fixed that piece. Then we'd added the edit context, but then we'd already differentiated this context from the inner context. So it should be fine now. Log in, Twitch, redirect, profile. There we go. My streamer name. Enter some blurb to describe yourself here. That's quite an interesting design, but yeah. Okay. It says default, so when you run with the debugger text, it opens a browser that's kind of like opening it in private incognito browser. Okay. So I'm not even going to dig into that one. I don't really. I can figure that out, but it's interesting that the behavior is different between the two. When Visual Studio starts it, it starts up the dashboard and pops it out, and this was always logged in. So this was remembering between restarts, 100%, because when I logged in first thing this morning, I would click to my profile. Only now is it doing that, the login required for Twitch. And it's also remembering the profile, so it's not like it's completely logging me out. Also, when I did it from Rider, it doesn't launch the dashboard. It launches, and I know that there's different launch profiles, different settings, but it launches slightly differently. So that's kind of interesting, the difference in behavior between the two. Okay. We're leaving this. I know this is hard coded. We're going to leave this in for right this second. We're going to need to rebuild. We're going to need to build this ourselves because we want this state variable captured. But let's get some. Let's get some buttons in place. Button profile update. Update profile. You know, to stop running anyway because this is going to change the code. So there's no benefit in that open. Defaults off the top of your head. Do you know in Rider what setting I'm looking for there? Aspire host, HTTPS. That's set to not after launch. So that's why Rider's not opening it. Okay. However, after launch. Yeah, these aren't running. So what the heck is launching? That's the client, not the web. There is no web. Oh, after launch. Maybe that's the problem. Let's see the difference. Well, it's going to start, it's going to launch the web anyway. So watch. So yeah, you're right. It's an incognito browser. That's what the problem was before. So we could log in there and it'd be fine. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so we can do that. But what the heck is launching this? So when this starts, it launches, but there's no profile for it. There is no web configuration. It's not fully incognito, but it's incognito. Okay. Joy. But again, what the heck is starting? Oh, here you go. .NET launch profile. Oh. Let's see if that change. Okay, we're going on a little bit of a rabbit hole because I want to understand how to configure this properly for Rider. Because I'm confused as to what is launching the web. So this is the app host, right? What we'll see is PostgreSQL will start up, migration runs, PostgreSQL PG web starts, so the website front end for that, the API starts, and the web starts. But it now launches the browser in the incognito mode. So what the heck is running that? Has to be the Azure, the Spire app host. Wait for completion. Nothing directly says, hey, start the web up, by the way. So what am I missing? Because yeah, nothing in here references 7105. That's the client. That's not. Oh, trying to find 7105. Nothing references 7105. Not even an app settings. I doubt that. Properties launch settings. Oh, 7102. Sorry. That's fine. Launch browser false. Launch browser false. But there's no direct launch for that. So what does this? Oh god, no. But what middleware? Nothing. So if that was like, it doesn't launch the API. It launches the web. But there's nothing to do with that being the last thing because that wouldn't be a sensible default. There's nothing explicitly saying start that up. Visual Studio doesn't do it. But then Visual Studio doesn't have the launch thing. Right? So the services, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Services. Services. Aspire settings. Ah, here we go. Is it because it is a browser project and it wants to run it? Let's find out. If Deflux hadn't got bored and walked away, we'd know. No, let's see if it does it now. Okay, so it was that. It was just that setting. Do not launch the browser. So it's basically because it was a web project. Oh no, nope, it still did it. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's fine. That is not a sane default. Twitch doesn't like logging in that profile. So it's not to do with that. Let's put that back just in case that creates some other problems. Aspire. There's no launch profile for it. That's what's bugging me. I mean, Aspire does have some stuff to do with launch profiles, though. It does look like. But again, why doesn't it do it in the other one? Most frustrating. Anyway, we've got a. I can run it in Visual Studio. It's fine. Okay, so when we save this, what we want to do here is we want a command for update user profile, public class, a public record, command, string, name, string, blurb, GUID, user identifier. It's an I command, result. I don't think I have a result yet. No, I don't. I don't want to overcomplicate this and make it exactly liquid sky like, right? So I want to make sure that I'm just putting in what I need. Public class handler. You're going to take a I command handler. Command. Right. And we're going to inject an I repository of streamer. Right. Because this is this that we're going to touch now. Repository. And then in here, var existing equals repository dot goes to default async new streamer by ID. Command dot user identifier. Spec. We can create that, and that's a specification of streamer and an I single result specification of streamer. User identifier. This is query dot where s goes to s dot identifier equals user identifier. If existing is null, what is going wrong? Am I running out of batteries? Is that the problem? It's possible. Running out of batteries. I mean, it's been 3 months, so I think I can forgive it off a double A. Oh, wait. If existing is null, we're going to create this. So repository dot add async new streamer. Identifier equals that. Name equals command dot name. Blurb equals dot blurb. And that's await that, and then passing the cancellation token. Else existing.blurb, existing.name, await repository, update async. Both of those call save changes. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to put it inside. Let's make it private. Okay. Makes sense. Sealed is better there because then it stops this complaining about virtual. You can't extend it even further. That's the intent of the. You should be building specifications that inherit from specifications, I suppose, is the big goal there. So that's that piece. Right. Now the problem comes in our functionality. This is where this gets confusing for me. So I've got to save this, but I don't want to be sending that command directly from here, right? So I need an interface to do that with. So I have streamer query service for getting a list of streamers. I really don't want to do this. Streamer profile. Streamer query. Bad name. This is a bad name. Let's just do this for the right a second. This is going to be ask update profile GUID user identifier string name string blurb cancellation token. So we support that. Streamer profile service through here. This injects sender, and then this does async await sender dot send new update user profile dot command that. Okay. So we inject this interface in here. A database, Twitch client, sender. How do I do the query service here? Oh, I've got it. I stream a query there. Let's do it down here for now. Add transient iStreamer profile is streamer profile service. Right. And now we need to create an API endpoint to do the same thing so we can achieve this from both directions, right? If I'm understanding the right implementation here, so we have the option of doing it client and server. So this one would be iStreamer profile. And then this is going to do bar request equals await client dot. So the challenge I have here, okay, throw new. We're going to do it that way for right a second. I have a question around this. Forwarding auth to provide user identifier on the other side. No, because the API, I've got the identifier. I got to do this anyway. So on the UI side of things, right, what we do is, what's the right place to do injection, here or here? Inject private iStreamer profile service get set. You prefer this? Okay. Non-nullable properties uninitialized. Oh, so it wants that. Okay. So allow null. That's the preference. And then what we do here is await dot update profile. This is interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of attributes in general, so it's like so input dot name, input dot blurb. This part, let's just do that for now. Update profile. Right. I understand the defaults. I'm just wondering what the I was more concerned about what it would do to dependency injection there. Like, is there a preferred practice? I understand the whole setting it up so that you're saying that, yeah, it won't be null, but I want to make sure that I'm trying to be I'm trying to follow along with how a Blazor does this. And here I'm going to have some challenges. Oh, this is on the web side. So if I created this on the view side, this would be slightly different anyway. But anyway, so in theory, I don't need that. But is this... No, that's not that. So I'm going to need the ASP anyway, aren't I? Inject HTTP context as inject and authenticate. That's making some assumptions. Ah. Oh, so the preference is to do public. What's the constructor? What's the constructor when we've got code behind like that? Do we have to do the actual code behind file to do that? That I'd prefer. It would read a little nicer, but anyway. Let's see if this works first before we worry too much about that. It'd be nice to end the stream on something like this working. So I haven't worried too much about the client side. I do have questions around the client side. Like this identifier, where am I pulling that from? Because on this side of things, on the update profile, I can't do this. So on the API client. So yeah. I prefer not to use the code behind, but I'm in the minority, it seems. It's so messy. It's just having this all in the same. I mean, I get it. If you're using components, that should be minimal. I understand that argument, but it's why I like Angular and not React, right? Because React has the blur, the lines blurred, and I prefer this is view, this is code. Maybe that comes from working with web forms decades ago, right? Yeah. Right now, I haven't moved to code behind because I want to make that a discussion and a deliberate standard. So again, I'm not worrying too much about the layout here because what I want to do is when the general app structure is up and running, go back, clean things up, consult with the stream, and come up with a consensus of yay or nay on like code behind or not code behind. Component, where does it live? What's the right path for building things? Because I think the reason I don't want to open source or rather, open it up to PRs right now is because there's all these little things in flux. Like, what's the right way of doing this? I don't understand that. So if I don't understand the right way right this second, how can I maintain it? So kind of grow into this, understand my way around Blazor, but also, um, you know, a little bit further. So yeah, this will come back to. Let's see if this builds at least. There's no client alternative for it right this second, but it should be fine because the client shouldn't be trying to inject it, right? So let's do this. Let's run it up in here. Hello, Sally. How are you doing? Web forms decades ago, or 20 minutes ago in my case. Oof. Oof. I like it all together in nice, neat components, mostly because my favorite code tool, Copilot, has all the information when it's all neat together, and it also incentivizes smaller components. You'd think so, but not all developers think about that in the same way. So if you're working in a shared code base, again, I'm willing to accept code in the page if when we open it up to vote, everyone wants it in the page, and that's the standard R document. I'm thinking that code behind will be the preferred choice. Okay, why are you not keeping me logged in anymore? I do not know, but that's fine. Profile, TBD gamer, I stream about things and fail about dev a lot. A valid anti-forgery token is not provided with the request. Add an anti-forgery token or disable anti. You're a forgery. Data annotations, validation summary. Where's the anti-forgery? Hey, Michael, how you doing? In the edit form component. Don't see anything for anti-forgery. As in it's hidden by it. Oh, that isn't very helpful, is it? Um, TBD gamer. I stream about things. Dev. Provide anti-forgery token was not provided with the request. You have to move use anti-forgery after use authentication and use authorization. So, as with everything that's evolved so quickly, there's a lot of recommendations around that. today. It'd be nice to finish up on this, but I do not have the time today. One more try, that's all we get. And then I gotta go. I got ridiculous work to do today. Have fun, Sally. Emperor. Oh, yes, there was. I did get it working. This is not. Tomorrow I will be working back on Liquid Sky. Ultimately, it was the signals and how I was subscribing to them. Have as much fun as you said, as is possible. Find something to be fun. I don't know. Okay. So, okay. Well, clearly I'm not succeeding at that. But I do have to run, I'm afraid, because I have to finish up. I will tidy this up. I'll see if I can get that to work without without waiting until Friday. If anyone is interested in chatting about this, has more questions, you're more than welcome to join the Discord if you have if you want to talk about stuff. App and a weather app with third-party API integration adequate for entry-level junior developer. Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to get into software development, you're trying to prove you know what you're talking about as a junior developer, entry-level developer, yeah, make sure you add those things to your resume so people can go and look and then be prepared to talk about them, ask about the technologies, discuss things. But do you think a full stack e-commerce app with admin dashboard and Stripe integration, backend ticket booking system with microservices and a Kafka queue, a live chat app with WebSocket, and full stack forum? I gotta run, unfortunately, Michael. You're more than welcome to join the Discord. It is linked in the cards below on both Twitch and YouTube. But I gotta run because I got stuff to do. Mr. Woody, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you calling out the sound earlier on. That was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow with Liquid Sky, and I'll see you soon. Take care, all. We're gonna raid full box.